At this point in the video, we're going to take a minute to reevaluate our composition, because in order to add tabs, we're going to need to make a little bit more room at the bottom of our design. So I'll give you a couple of suggestions, and then you'll press pause on the video and you'll evaluate your own project, and then we'll resume working together. Your first option is the more simple one. It's simply to move your composition, move all of your layers. You see how you have 3 layers here? You're going to need to move all of them at the same pace up in your canvas frame so that the top of your design just barely meets the edge of your top of your canvas, leaving room for some tabs at the bottom. So if you have space at the top of your design, this is the option for you. Let's go ahead and work together. You'll first need to link all of your layers together by pressing the little link button. What this does is it allows you to move using the move tool. It allows you to move all of your layers at the same time evenly. So when I moved the background layer, the middle ground and foreground layer moved with them. They didn't move position separately from it. They moved at the same pace and the same pixel amount of space. So when I zoom in, I can see that my composition just barely meets the top of my canvas page, and now I have ample room at the bottom to make my tabs. If this option does not work for you, the second option is going to work for you. The second option is to scale down your entire composition. You'll still need all 3 of your layers linked together, and then you can right-click, scale layer, and we want to scale using the percent ratio. So change your ratio to percent, and we can scale all 3 layers at the same time to, let's say, 75%. Because my layers were locked together, the layer aspect ratio was locked, they now are even. So 75 and 74.94 is even with my height to length ratio. I'll go through, scale all 3 of those layers to 75%. And now all 3 layers are evenly working together. Whichever way you decide to work it, if you want to do both like I have done, or you just have one of the 2 options, you just need room for tabs on the side. The width can matter a little bit, but for the most part, as long as you have a little bit of a border, you'll be okay on your card. So go ahead and take a moment and do that in your own compositions. Restructure them so that you have room for tabs, and we'll come back together once you're finished. Alright, you're back. So the next few steps are going to be the same for all 3 layers. So I'll show you the step for my foreground layer, and then you will continue the steps for your middle ground and background layers. What we're going to learn is a little bit about the ruler tool first. The ruler tool at the very top of your GIMP interface is a drop-down ruler, and that is going to help serve as a guide. To create the ruler and let it be permanent, I'm going to left-click and hold, drag my ruler about 1/2 inch If you don't have your inches set on your ruler, you can, in the bottom left corner, scroll to find inches or whichever other sort of unit of measurement you'd like to use. So I have my ruler set to about 1/2 inch here, and now I'm going to open a new layer, transparent, because my last layer was too small. You see how when I have the foreground selected, I have this yellow bounding box all the way around? That goes away when we print, but it tells me that that's the limitations of my layer size. My whole canvas is 8.5 inches by 11 inches, but my layer, because I scaled it down, is a different size, and so it's smaller, and I'm not able to draw outside of that yellow box. When I open a new layer, my yellow box is moved to the outside edges of the perimeter of this canvas size. So that's the easiest way to add drawing space. Then I can grab my paths tool, and starting on the outside edge where my wave marker ends, I'm going to make a diagonal tab . So I make kind of a trapezoid shape, and I'll click stroke path, and I'm going to choose a thin line width, about 1 or 2 pixels. Then I can actually move that entire section. I've already done the work once, there's no need to do it again. I'll go ahead and stroke my path. Stroke. Right now it's hard for you to see the work I've done, so I'll add a white background just for now so that you can see what's going on. But you don't need to do that to yours. So there's my layer, 1, 2, my tab layer. Now, when you go to work in your middle ground layer, you will need possibly to extend your middle ground design down. If you have a part of your design that hasn't been copy and pasted throughout, like maybe you didn't want to see a portion of your design copy and pasted throughout your entire composition, and you have gaps, you may need to extend your design down. But since my foreground, middle ground, and background have all been copy and pasted all the way through, there's no need for that to be extended anywhere else. So the next step is you will go ahead and create your tabs yourself, and then we'll talk about how to save this and print in a moment. So you'll just press pause on this video again, and you'll get to work, and you'll actually access the next video through the next Canvas portal